So, I guess that we're live, and my camera is really blurry all of a sudden. Hey, camera, stop being blurry. Let's see if you fixed yourself. Oh, you corrected. You're so smart, camera. All right, guys. So this video, I know you all want positive stuff about Vegas, and you want a sycophantic audience that'll tell you that it's okay to come here, and I'll tell you that everything is awesome when you're part of a team. But I got some text messages today, which we'll talk about in this chat, and we will talk about the real truths about coming here right now, and you guys can make an adulting decision about whether or not you want to do that. Hi, Johnny. Hey, Harold. Hey, Scarelli. Jason Prince is here. Indominus is here. John is here. John is awesome. Uncle Chuckles is here. I went to the camera store today. I found out that my Mickey Mouse MacGyver solution to put adapters on my camera won't work, and then I got sticker shocked by what my camera lens will cost to have a wide angle. So I'm just going to wait on that. But today's episode of Not Leaving Las Vegas involved me calling a bunch of realtors and getting nowhere, and then finally getting somebody who would talk to me, which were very nice people. And what else did I do today? I tried to go to the bank again, Bank of America. First of the month, you have to pay your bills, right? You have to pay your rents. Man, Bank of America was jacked up. I had to go to Wells Fargo. If you guys don't know, unemployment runs through Bank of America, so you're never going to ever get any kind of money out of the machine, especially on the first, because the unemployment people take all the money. And I was not allowed to be an unemployment person. Go figure, right? And so I always run around on the first of the month trying to get money out of the machine. I really should do it on the last day of the month, not the first of the month. Look at that. My dinging is going on. What a jerk. I should really pause that. Hey, Devin is here. Okerlund is here. Mark is here. Williams in the house. Oof DePaul. I got to imagine you're from Michigan or somewhere on an upper peninsula. Gil is here. Matthew, Dresner, Ivor, Bruce, Yvonne, Brad, Desert Rose, Tom Heel, Juan, Aliane, Daniel S., Sue Sinclair. Wow, Sue is here. Cool. Where's Terry? Giuliano Gallardini is here. Hooked. What did I catch? Ooh, you have a fishing channel, I imagine. Should we come next week? Man, I'm not telling you not to come to Las Vegas. That would get me in trouble with casino companies. I'm just going to tell you some stuff with unnamed sources that have told me some things, and we will talk about that here in a little while. We're going to talk about what you're having a good day with in Las Vegas. Are you in Las Vegas? Do you want to meet up with me tomorrow? I'll be on the strip around 6 o'clock. I have to go and do a room filming tomorrow when it gets dark out around 7:30. So if you guys want to meet me tomorrow at 6, I will be at the Cosmopolitan, and you guys can meet me there tomorrow at 6. Oh man, I'm coughing because it is hot in this room and there's a lot of wind going on. Happy Canada Day, everybody, to all my Canadian friends. I would be doing you a disservice not to talk about that. And it is Canada Day. It's 1867 till now. How many years that is, I don't even know. I'm not doing the math in my head. But that's what Canada Day is. It's the day that Canada declared its own dominion. What up? Romulan Travel is here. Look at all the people piling into the chats, and I only have 53 likes. They just want to see if I'm talking a bunch of smack or a bunch of good stuff. I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of stuff here in a few minutes. The 19, yeah, we're talking about that. My friends just arrived today in Vegas. They're staying at the Palace Station. Tell them to wear their face masks and sanitize their hands, and for the love of God, don't touch their face. Cough in your elbow. I really should, yeah. I'd be like Joe Biden going, well, I'm in my house. Well, it actually is just me in this room. I have the capacity to run my own cameras. I don't think that Joe is running his own cameras when he did that, but hey, man, he was the vice president, so you got to give him the respect for that, I guess. Yeah, we have the fisheye lens background. Vegas is back. We'll see about that. I'm one of the likes. Thank you, CJ's daddy. I appreciate it. Happy Canada Day. I love the backdrop. Man, it is warm in Vegas today. I guess probably, I don't know if you guys can see my temperature gauge, so I better move it this way so you guys can see it. It'll be right above my head in the center right there. There we go. Spill it. Well, if I spill it right now, then my watch time will be 4 minutes, and then I will not spill it right now. It's called Burying the Lead. It's where the news says fighting with the fuzzies at 11, and then you show up and they tell you a bunch of stuff. Fighting the Frizzies at 11. It's a South Park joke, by the way. National Reggae Day. Buffalo Soldiers in the house. You're good with terms. Are you You're with good terms with Cosmo, I guess. I don't know. I have written permission to go into Cosmo. We're not naming names today because that would be stupid. I can't prove anything, and I don't have like documented footage and employees that have signed anything, no legal documents. I want to tell you what my source has told me about what's going on at the casinos, and we're going to talk about that, and you guys will make a decision if it's real, if it's BS. My source is usually pretty good. Everything I told you guys about the openings of Las Vegas, and then what would happen, and then what the win release, that was all in line, and then what they didn't do is what we're going to talk about right now. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry, Martin D? I don't know about that. Is everything going to close down again? Restaurants and bars and closing down in California and many other states. California, yeah, they're going to close down in other states. Vegas has got a very precarious situation going back. What temperature gauge app widget did I use? I don't even remember. I just typed OBS temperature widget, and it brought me to a thing, and it brought me to a website, and I got an open weather API, and I entered it, and I typed in Vegas, and it made a little website. That's a website widget. That's all that is. I don't know the exact name of it, but you can type into Google the same thing that I did. For a guy with good hairline, you wear hats a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm 39. I'll be 40 in about 6 months, and I guess I have a decent hairline. Did Aria open today? Any issues? We're not naming names. I'm not talking about Aria, Caesars, Planet Hollywood. This is just a general thing that I have heard. Wow, 488 people are in the chat. Thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate it. So we got Vegas Mooch in the house. He is awesome. Google, it's very high resolution. There's two different shots. Yeah, there's a couple of ones like that. Just type in Las Vegas wallpaper. Whoa, Robert Jimenez, where's the chopper? We gotta get to the chopper. Do it now. What's wrong with you people? Go now. Come on, kill me. No, don't kill me. I want rock and roll. Martin D wants to put another dime in the jukebox, baby. You know, I got all the references. All the references. Not all the references. I have some references, not all of them. Tell us about it to tease. Well, you know, we'll talk about that. What are the areas of Vegas are middle class? Most of Vegas is actually middle class, and it really depends on your term and definition of middle class. We're over here making friends. Lauren, I'm glad you're having a good time. Look, if you're in town in Vegas right now, I'm just going to tell you guys a bunch of things that happened, and you guys will figure it out on your own. If it's real, you guys will go into the casinos with a different mindset. You'll look at it, and you'll see it differently maybe. Or maybe you'll say that I'm crazy. I'm not here to scare you away from Las Vegas. I'm here to tell you the truth about what's going on. Arnold is back. I will be in Laughlin tomorrow through Monday. Laughlin is probably a better choice than Las Vegas right now, but you can come to Vegas and enjoy yourself, but you have to be very, very careful. That's all it is. Tell me a bedtime story. See, I don't get that reference, Martin D, but there once was a boy named Martin D. He watched a YouTube channel called Not Leaving Las Vegas, and then he commented, and then he went to sleep. Steven, Derek Stevens will allow you to tour the D. Just get permission and you're set. Gotta film the horse racing game on the second floor. That would be nice. Charles Dyson is back in the chat with that badass haircut and that kick your butt kind of facial hair. We'll be there in a few weeks, staying at Bellagio. Hope you get some new FaceTime with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do a meetup with people. I just don't want to wander all over the strip. Tomorrow I'll be at the Cosmopolitan at 6 p.m. if you guys want to meet me. That would be a cool thing as long as I can park at the Cosmo. Summerlin for the preppies. Well, no. Summerlin is more like an upper-class neighborhood. If you go to Summerlin around Rainbow Boulevard, it's more or less middle class. But as you go towards the west, it becomes more and more nice. Otis from Chicago's here. Hey, Otis Grissett. Just visited the Bellagio from Cali. Wasn't bad. Masks, sanitizer, repeat. Worked out all right. I have plans for the 27th, hoping the buffets are open. That would be nice. You got the Cosmo with the Wicked Spoon for brunch, and you have the Wynn with the buffet for $60, which is tremendously expensive. So I love this city. That's what I'm going to tell you. I love this city like it's a relative of mine. I don't want the city to be hurt, and I don't want the city to die on us. But when we opened everything up, and I've said this before, there was a bunch of rules that the casinos promised to pertain to. They submitted their plans to the Gaming Commission. None of that ever happened, and now we have a bunch of employees and a bunch of people fighting with one another. Diana is here. I'm enjoying Vegas, having the smaller crowds. We'll go to the Peppermill tomorrow and head on over to the Bellagio to poker. Mask, hand sanitizer, being careful, still having fun. Just don't touch your face and wash your hands at every given opportunity. I'm in Vegas right now because it's the only week I could go. If I wasn't bored out of my mind the last few months, it would appear depressing. That's an interesting point, Adam. I agree with you there. I always get compliments on the wallpaper by guests, so it's worth the hassle. Very nice. Oh my gosh, so many people are in the chat. All right, so we're 10 minutes in. Let's just talk. So what I have been told and what I have actually, wow, a guy named MF, that's his initials. He says, sent you $3 for the vids to my Cash App. Thank you guys so much. And somebody named Mike Romanowski pledged $10 to my Patreon. So thank you guys so much for that. And we are going to be talking right now about the things on my WhatsApp Messenger that scared me to death. John is here from Clyde Goodyear. I know my friend Clyde Goodyear is in town, and I'm going to be able to see the Bellagio. So basically what's going to happen, okay? What's going to happen in Las Vegas? Casino, so we're going to go over a few things point by point. Thank you so much, John Neese. You are a gentleman and a scholar. So, casino human resource departments, okay? They're reporting that a record number of employees are simultaneously requesting their time off right now. The employees are scared. Margot Knight, you are here. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I appreciate you, Margot. So right now, the employees in Las Vegas are very scared. Whether or not is because the lawsuit is happening, and it was announced 2 days ago that there's a giant lawsuit against the casino companies, but not all of them. Well, technically all of them, but not the Wynn. Not a lawsuit against the Las Vegas Sands, which owns Venetian and Palazzo. Just against the Bellagio specifically, the MGM Signature, which are both owned by MGM Resorts International, and also against, I think it was, Harrah's. So you have 3 properties. So Harrah's is owned by Caesars Entertainment. So 2 of the big players are having a lawsuit. Now the employees are fighting using seniority, trying to get paid time off if they haven't already taken it. The casinos apparently have a problem with employees not wanting to report for work because the employees are not confident that the management is doing enough to report to the employees. Now, most of the employees work for the culinary. So we're talking about the housekeepers and everybody who works at a restaurant that's not a third-party restaurant. Most of them work for culinary. Culinary has seemingly scared people into a state where they want to take time off, and they're infighting over who's going to take the time off first. Whether it's paid time off or not paid time off, they all want to take their vacations right now. Music with Mrs. LC says, keep up the great work, Steven. Thank you so much. I do see those super chats. I'm looking at the camera. My comments are down here. I'm just going to go on a little bit of a rant about what I heard today, which is like, if my sources told me this, they scared the heck out of me. If this is true, pray for Las Vegas, please. The problem inside with the C-19 is scaring people to death. They don't want to work right now. They don't want to work. And these are people that basically are covered by one of the most powerful unions in the company. So we're going to read this comment, not verbatim, because we don't want to do that. Simultaneously requesting that they take their annual vacation time at this time to avoid customer contact and risk. They don't want to go close proximity with anybody, because in the last few weeks in states that had either, one state had a political rally, the other states had massive amounts of protests. There was only 3 states in the country that didn't have protests, and most states opened up for Memorial Day to some capacity. And then those people came to Las Vegas, so everybody is afraid about what's happening. We had 50,000 cases of C-19 today. It was absolutely frightening. That's the most we've ever had in this country in a single day. And the casino workers know that everybody comes here, and they're afraid of the standards of practices, okay? The source feels very bad for the employees who don't have any seniority because they basically have to work. Whoa, Paul, keep the faith, everyone, from Seattle, Washington. We'll turn this positive in a minute. I realize this is very negative, but the thing is, if I don't tell you this stuff, you won't understand what's going on behind the scenes. Basically, the casinos think that every customer should have been wearing a mask since the very start of everything. If the employees have to wear a mask, then you make the customers wear a mask as well. Because employees are not forced to wear gloves in the casinos, and employees are going to be cleaning things, and there is ancillaries ancillary contacts that happen. And the casinos are worried. The employees are worried. But nobody did anything to stop it. Because why? Because we have infighting between the casino properties and the state government. The state government didn't make really strong restrictions to open back up. They put it into the hands of the Nevada Gaming Commission. So Sisolak said, okay, submit your plans to the Gaming Commission. He oversees only so much. And the Gaming Commission said, okay, there's your plans, go do your plans. Most of these properties didn't require face masks. They were saying that they were going to offer them up to the guests. Now, you can blame the properties. It's not necessarily the property's fault. The properties went off of what the CDC said and what the local government authority said. And at that point, it was just like, please wear a mask, but nobody did. Now we have the mandatory masks. You know, my wife makes these. They come from VegasFaceMask.com. There's a link in the video right above me. You guys can order one. These are very comfortable. Employees have to wear masks. They can wear, in a lot of cases, their own. If you go to the Westgate, they did a cool thing where they put a face on the mask. Everybody's individual. People have a sense of self. And the mask was looked at like a negative thing by a lot of folks. A lot of people politicized the masks on one side of the political spectrum. And people didn't want to wear them. And the casinos didn't want to say, you have to wear one, because they wanted to create the illusion, you know, Vegas is a place. We come in, we have a good time, and then we go home. But what happens here right now is staying here, and the employees are afraid. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So if you were an employee working in Las Vegas and living in Las Vegas and had to deal with the public, would you be afraid? Comment below. Paper City Gamer Jeff, Vegas employees should have every other week off paid, he says. Some businesses did that in Massachusetts. I can't ever say Massachusetts right. I think it's the Canadian in me, to help mitigate staff risk is what he is saying. So he's making a point. If you have to come to work for 7 days in a row, then you take it in 7 days off. Maybe he's saying that those 7 days off are enough that you won't get constantly sick. That's a very interesting way to do it. You put everybody on a part-time schedule, 7 days on, 7 days off, 7 days on, 7 days off. I guess you could actually hire back more of your employees that way. So somebody is saying, Donald Campbell, that's BS. Masks are the introduction to socialism. Well, be nice to Donald Campbell. He's my father, like biologically and genetically. So I don't want you guys to hate on him. And mods, you're not allowed to get rid of him because he's my father. He can say what he wants to say. You guys can say those kinds of things. Oh, plus he has a wrench because he's my old man. He's entitled to that opinion. A lot of people are politicizing it. My father's one of them. Okay, fair enough. You know, I wear a mask when I go into public because it's mandated by my local government. Where my father lives, it's not. So he has every right to say that. And you have every right to express whether or not you think masks are, you know, the mark of the beast, or whether you think they're a bad thing. But one thing's for sure, you have to wear one now. Now the question is, would you have worn a mask to just mitigate it without the government scaring you? That's another question, isn't it? You know? No, Reno, my father does not have full carte blanche. He couldn't come in here and start screaming racist stuff. That's just, he's never going to do it, but that's just the thing. He's got the same rules as all y'all. Even the wrenches can't be crazy. Let's see. Love your mask. Can't wait for mine to arrive. Joseph Drake. I popped them in the mail today for you, my friend. And thank Paper City Gamer Jeff 883 times for being super cool with me. Good evening, Las Vegas. Reno says, thank you so much. Some California counties reversed phases openings today, back to phase 0 again. So do we want to be in phase 0, or do we want to treat Vegas with the respect that we deserve to give it? And the casinos had a problem. And the employees are scared. And I don't blame the employees for being scared. Can't live your life in fear every day, Northeast Ohio Lawn and Landscape Info says. And that's true. You can't live your life in fear every single day. Well, the president doesn't wear one. Why should anybody else, Goitcher says. And that's a good point. I said that to my wife the other day. You have Andrew Cuomo? Which Cuomo is the governor of New York? Which one is the CNN anchor? I don't know. But you have Cuomo in New York, and he likes to say that he thinks that the president should set an example, and that's true. And then I saw a video of Joe Biden in the church breaking all the mask rules. They're not supposed to take their mask down, but every time every one of them talked, they did, and that was against the rules. So politicians are just human beings. They're not perfect. That's the important point. Try saying that after 6 beers. Ha. I work at Luxor and I'm not afraid, Jason says. Very nice. I'm glad, Jason. I appreciate it. So Jason is probably practicing all of the protocols that he possibly can. Chris Cuomo is CNN. Very nice. Okay, thank you. So Jeff says, Donald Campbell, thanks for Steven. That's cute. That's cute. Mask is getting picked up in your green screen. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Let's see what we can do about that. I don't have any other color masks here. Oh, well, I'll wear it off. I'll take it off for now. Yeah, it's got a green thing, so that's probably going to get picked up in the green screen on the back. That's what's happening with that. This part, not an issue, not an issue. Plus, my arm is being cut off on the green screen. Unless everyone stays at home, at least 70% of the people will get it, and herd immunity will probably come before an effective vaccine. I like the way Red Pill Gary thinks. That's an interesting thing. So do you feel bad about the employees in Las Vegas? That's the question I want to ask you, too. Or do you say, well, you signed up for this. You knew there could be a problem, because I don't think anybody signed up for this. What's scary, James? It's just scary the way the casinos and the employees are handling things. Whoa, Joseph Drake. Thanks, Steven. You're the best. Great stream tonight. Thank you, Joseph Drake. I heard Rio is opening July 9th. It could be. I've not heard that, but maybe Ruben has an insider information. I'm for the masks, not against, Army Joe says. And Army Joe was recently in Las Vegas, and he said that it was not the same. But nothing is the same right now. If I get hired at a job and they have to close down for CV again, how long do I have to be employed to qualify for unemployment? That's a great question. OKCU Caitlin. It depends on your state, I'm sure. Most states, well, every state runs their own unemployment. I'm not really sure how that goes. I don't think any employer right now is going to try to deny you, because what you don't know is if you leave a job and you apply for unemployment, the employer that you worked for can either fight you in the state, or they can say yes to you. Whoa, GT Boxer, Corey from Bon Voyage Auto Body in Santa Monica. We're going to shout out Corey again from Bon Voyage Auto Body in Santa Monica. They must do great work, because GT Boxer, I assume that's the car he drives, says they do great work. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Tony feels bad for the employees. That is a bummer. I agree with you right there. I've liked the vid. Who hasn't? A lot of people. There's almost 900 people watching, but not everybody's going to like what I'm saying, and I'm not going to beg you to like the video. I'm going to tell you that you need to make decisions for yourself. My job isn't to tell you and be a cheerleader for this city. I love this city. I am not going anywhere anytime soon. And it's not because I have a YouTube channel. I have full faith that this city can return and be great again. But I think it's going to require responsibility from every level, from the person at the grocery store that doesn't even interact with you, the tourist, all the way up to the person who runs the state. We have to have enough communication between one another, because I guarantee you right now, from what I've heard, the governor is blaming the president for everything, and the casinos are blaming the governor for everything, and the employees are blaming the casinos for everything. And when a couple is having money problems and they don't get through it together, they're going to have a breakdown in their relationship. Instead of saying, let's solve the money problems, and they blame each other, they point at each other, it's a bad deal. Army Joe says 7,000 children in Florida are now infected, and Florida has cut down tests. I hate to hear that they're cutting down tests. I don't agree with that at all. But I will tell you something that's balanced, okay? If we take a look at the actual numbers in Nevada, which we can actually do, but I would have to change my background. We will do that in another video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will see that there are deaths for a day for the last few days, but we will also see that hospitalization and ventilator use is not up. And that is the big fear. We don't want to have a public health system that's absolutely overwhelmed with people in that system. We want to have a deal where what they said originally, whoa, Julian Castillo says, coming to town on Friday, staying at the Aria. Don't tell me I haven't emailed you today. Let me take a look at something real fast with you. I'm going to go to my sent items, and I see that I sent Mr. Julian Castillo. I know I did. Yeah, I sent you, I think, an email. I think you ordered masks, did you not? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh my God, you're too generous to me. Thank you so much, Julian Castillo. Wow. If you guys feel the need, not with me, but for anybody else, I'm going to tell you a tip. The large super chats, 30% of everything is taken. So if you ever plan on sending something big, do it through your favorite YouTubers, PayPal or Cash App. I love YouTube, and I want to pay them their cut, but they're already taking 30% and nickel and diming us. So you guys are so generous. You're so generous. Oh my God, I'm the comic book guy now. What is up with that? I don't know why I talk like that. Can you dig it? Steven, guess what, man? I don't know what. Mr. Michael Lone Car? I'm not sure. Is everyone on vacation like me? No, Paul, I have to go to my day job. And then I have a lot of people that think I can hand deliver 6 or 7 orders of face masks to casinos and meet them, and it's very difficult. All the Asian countries are wearing masks. They have less cases. It's interesting, isn't it? Asian countries are oftentimes more densely populated in the large metropolitan areas, and they don't have as many cases as us. Oh, Big U says, holy cow, you look so young now. My wife had me get the contacts, and then she had me shave, and then she had me dress properly because she is what they call the better half. I'm surprised that Blackjack is not wanted in here. Michael Lone Car loves me. Well, that's a compliment, and I appreciate it. Keep the tests and give us some stats on the percentage of people who die from the COVID. And only the COVID. Yeah, this is another problem too. This is a positive thing that our president did. He guaranteed months ago in a public statement, they did the public. You remember when they would actually go on TV and address us? And then some people really liked that. And then the media said, we're not going to cover this anymore, which I don't know. But I liked those public addresses because it gave me an idea what the government was doing. And I felt confidence. Well, they said, we're going to pay the hospitals. So if somebody shows up at your door and they don't have health insurance, they might not show up because they're afraid of the costs. They don't want to lose and go bankrupt because America's healthcare system has been upside down forever. It sucks. So if you're the public, show up to the hospital. If you're the hospital, take the people in and then bill the government Medicaid adjustment rates. So if you guys don't know what that means that when you go through your private insurance, the hospital bills the insurance $1,000. But when the hospital when the insurance doesn't pay and it's a Medicare adjusted rate, they might only be able to charge $400. So the government said we'll pay that adjusted rate for every person that walks through the door. You don't bill the customer even if they don't have insurance. Now there's like $40,000 per person that goes to the hospital and passes away with COVID. And it's tragic because a lot of the people have it, but they have other things. There was a man in Colorado, his legal blood alcohol level was like 4 times the limit. And the coroner originally said, hold on, there's a cat here. The coroner originally said he died of cirrhosis of the liver and secondly, and his first was he died of blood alcohol poisoning. But the state of Colorado said he died of corona because there was a contact trace. So it's tough to know what's happening right now. It's tough to know what's going on. Now, YouTube just demonetized me, so I want to thank everybody for being so generous because they will not, and I can't, it's not a conspiracy. People are passing away from this thing and it exists. Don't say it doesn't. Mods, if anybody starts telling me it's fake, just kick them out. We don't want that. But the problem is, we don't know what's really happening with the stats. Now, in Nevada, we're pretty good at that. I don't think that they're counting people who got hit by a bus and they had the C-19. Whoa, Bruce Probans. Thank you so much, Bruce Probans. That is amazingly generous of you. So it's a tough gig right now. And if you work in a casino, you're scared to death, and I'm scared to death for you. I don't want y'all to get hurt. I don't want y'all to get injured. So we're going to read some of your comments right now. I have a good kitty. Yeah, he is so nice. He goes outside today. He eats all the grass. I filmed him for a little bit. It was fun. My family is flying into Vegas. What should we do? My wife is flipping out. It says Jeremy J. Franco. So, Jeremy J. Franco, you might want to tell your wife that this thing here is not really what they thought it was originally. And whoa, Carmen Petrin, thank you so much, Carmen, for that sticker. You like Carmen? You don't know. Okay. So tell her basically wear a mask, use hand sanitizer. If she's flipping out, wear gloves. I know it sucks to wear gloves. And when you're outside walking amongst people and it's not super packed, you can pull your mask down, work in a hospital, and then say it's fake. That's what Army Joe says. And a lot of you guys are seeing people on the front lines. And that's an important thing to note. Is there anybody here that works in the hospitals? Can you give us a report? But wear a mask, wear gloves, sanitize your hands, wash your hands, and don't touch your face. And if you are in a lineup, wear a mask. You know, if you're watching the Bellagio fountain and you're in close proximity, wear a mask. But don't freak out because look, this thing here, when you look at the numbers that are reported aren't representative of the people that are losing their lives. It's representative of the people who are sick. We don't know what to extent they are sick at, and we don't know. And we don't know because it's so hard to get good information. That is the biggest black cat I have ever seen. Cool cat. He is a cool cat. COVID avoids mobs and protesters apparently, yet somehow it wants to go in and have a beer at a bar. I don't know about that, Mitchell. Death rate is crashing, Kevin says. That's a stat that we can verify with the CDC, the WHO. Let's see what we got. Steve Ciolaro. My contacts are not the way they should be. I'm ordering a new pair. Let's see what we got. Blackjack, to what do we owe the honor? He is hungry and he hears talking and he thinks there's food involved. Some of us celebrate Canada Day. I've already said Canada Day a few times. Canada Day started in 1867 when the Dominion of Canada was born, and technically Canada didn't really get their own complete freedom until 1967. Source, I'm Canadian, I paid attention in school. I'm a doctor and I work in a clinic in Oklahoma, I think you want to say, Scott Clark. Cases spiking and people are dying are two different things. This is very true. More younger people getting it, but less dying of it. That has a lot to do with the states opening up bars and restaurants and entertainment establishments. It really, really does. During spring break in March, there were kids going out to the beach saying, I don't care, I'm going to the beach. But now it's legal for people to go out and enjoy themselves, and that is a big deal. Oh my gosh, Jeremy J. Franco says, thank you so much for the info. Jeremy J., you're going to go to Google, and you're going to go to the Nevada Independent. It's an independent newspaper. They do not favor one political party over the other. They take money from everybody to stay afloat. You're going to click on the C19 button on the top left-hand side, and you're going to look at all those amazing stats that they have, and you're going to see what your risk mitigation would be. Now, if your wife has a suppressed immune system or a pre-existing condition, then you probably should rebook your trip. Otherwise, look at the stats and make the decision that's right for you. Just because, my man, keep calm and live stream on and quit touching your face. Get to the chopper. Do it. I am touching my face because I just had a cat on me and I'm in my house. And when I get home, I have a tradition and a ritual. And what it involves is me going out, taking my clothes, putting them in a trash bag for the laundry, having a shower, washing up real good before I go and touch anything in my house. My keys are at the front door. Nobody touches them but me. My wife has her own set of keys. And I am very, very careful. Be a superhero and wear the mask, Paul says. Yes, my mask that gets thrown off goes behind the head. We get them on vegasfacemask.com. My wife hand makes them. And that is a mask that doesn't fall off your head and you don't lose the mask, and you can just do this. I tie mine up like this, right? It's all tied up in the back, and then I wear mine in the morning when I leave the house. And then when I'm at work, it becomes a bandana and a fashion accessory. And I don't think it's bad. California state beaches are remaining open over the weekend, but the parking lots are closed. That's a very California thing to do, isn't it, David Crossley? I know a lot of Californians don't own cars, but still, that seems like a silly way to do it. Where was the background picture taken? That's a really great question. I'd have to take a look at that. So we would be on the top of the Paris, it looks like. We would be on the Eiffel Tower restaurant at the Paris with a very wide, probably 7mm fisheye lens. The lens I can't afford. I went to go look at it today. My God, it's an $1,100 lens for my camera. I was so heartbroken. I don't want the fisheye. I just want the wide angle, so when I'm filming the strip in rooms, I can do better. Not going to happen. $1,100 pays almost all of my rent for the month, and I don't know what's happening with the economy in this city. We can travel to Canada, but not U.S. Without going in 2 weeks self-quarantine, I want to go to Canada. What should I see? Event Alone says. Well, I'm partial to the west coast of Canada because I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I don't know if they're running a lot of it, but here's what I would do if I were in your case. I would rent a car in Vancouver, British Columbia. I would drive, no, I lied to you. I'm a liar. I suck. I would rent a car in Victoria, British Columbia. I would see the tulips and the beautiful Parliament building in Victoria. It's the British Columbia Parliament. It's the capital. I would go to Vancouver, drive up to Whistler, go see Robson Street, go see the downtown, and then I would drive all through the interior to Alberta. I go to Lake Louise. You can see a beautiful lake there with copper in it. It glows blue. It's beautiful. Whoa! Shoe Jack Thank you so much. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and if you're not, if you're not a gentleman, I apologize. You're a classy lady. Thank you so much. Then I would drive to Calgary. I would go all the way down up to Edmonton, and I would see that beautiful city. I would go see the Land of Living Skies in Saskatchewan. Basically, you could drive across Canada in several days and see some of the most beautiful geography in the entire country. End up in Ottawa. It's Canada Day today. Jeremy D. Wow, thank you so much. Jeremy D., you're awesome. Thank you guys for your generosity. If you drive across the whole country, it'll take a long time. Canada is like the second largest land mass as a country in the world, behind only, I think, Russia. So, but I would drive as much as I could from west to east, and I would experience all the different Canadians out there. They're very different. They're very varied. Oh, Lorna is from Calgary too. Very cool, Lorna. Yeah, I went to Forest Lawn High School and I worked at the Travel Lodge on McLeod Trail. It's a nice city. It's a beautiful city. I'm sorry they had to cancel the Stampede. That would be going on in about a week or so, something like that. This mysterious virus was in Vegas back in late January and early February. You got that right. That's why I think most of us had it in Las Vegas, but most of us don't have the ability to get antibody testing. And I'm not privy to getting a test that sticks a swab so far up my nose it comes out my eye. The consumer electronics industry actually recently did a poll of all of the people that would come. They asked a question: if you had to take a little tiny prick of blood in a 10-minute test to check in, would you be willing to? Most people would be willing to, but they need a non-invasive kind of test that doesn't put something so far up your nose it gives you a headache or makes you bleed. Maybe a swab at some point, if that's even possible. I'll do a personalized video in my backyard. Jeff is talking to Martin. Man, I love connecting people. Toronto is a beautiful city. It's the largest city in Canada, one of the largest cities in North America. If you're going to Toronto, make sure you check out the Canadian National Exhibition. Go up to CN Tower if it's open. Make sure you check it out. If the Hard Rock downtown is open, make sure you see the Hard Rock Cafe downtown. It's the very first North American-based Hard Rock Cafe out there, and it's a beautiful place, and I've been to that Hard Rock Cafe. Niagara Falls is absolutely gorgeous. They have wine country in southern Ontario. It's a beautiful place. I grew up in Niagara Falls as a kid. Listening to Not Leaving Las Vegas each evening is just like being in Vegas. Well, y'all gotta hate me because I wasn't very nice to Vegas at the beginning. So we'll talk about Vegas right now. But it is Canada Day, so happy Canada Day to everybody out there, to all the knuckleheads out there. I hope you were able to celebrate with something. Fireworks in Canada Day are not huge in every jurisdiction. The Canadian National Exhibition was canceled. Yeah, that sucks, man. I hate that. We went to Vancouver in January. It was supposed to go in May, but they canceled it. Vancouver in January can be a nice place, but it is a little bit chilly, and you certainly can't swim in that water. But then again, the water in Canada is always cold water, no matter where you go. So any body of water in Canada can be hypothermia. I learned that when I worked as a security guard at a private beach lake community in Calgary. Toronto Raptors are the champs. That's true. Oh my God, I'm honoring all the Canadians, but people came in here for Vegas chat. Oh, geez, Louise. What is the morale of the police? Our police are calling out sick. Somebody did something horrible to the police yesterday. They threw I can't say the words. An MC. They threw an MC. Yeah, YouTube scans my words. This one is certainly not being monetized by the artificial intelligence algorithm. They threw an MC through a police station yesterday. But, I mean, I don't know. The police out here have been polarizing to me. I know they're doing a great job. If anybody has a law enforcement officer as their relative, please understand that I respect the police. They're the first call we will ever make when somebody does something against our loved ones or breaks into our house. And I am not putting them down. This mask is going to flip out when I do this. I am not putting the police down. I respect the police, and I hope you do too. Some police officers are better than others, and we all know that. But some people working at the Target store are better than others too. And people are hit and miss, right? It turns out Toronto and Edmonton will be an NHL hub. That is a Vegas-related thing. Vegas is not having the National Hockey League come here, probably for the better. Probably for the better. The voice of Las Vegas is talking. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. MC. Yeah, type it in the chat. I can't type in the chat because I'm responsible for what I say on camera and what I type in the chat. Because YouTube is still somewhat of a platform and not a publisher, I guess you guys can type what you want. What have you heard about them bringing down the Luxor? Well, Gus, what I heard from my source is that it's baloney, probably never going to happen. But there are some key factors about the Luxor that we have to talk about. Number one, there's a rumor that I heard that there is a problem with the foundations in the Luxor. It'll cost $200,000 to fix. Number two, the Luxor rooms don't look very good. Number three, the Luxor interior doesn't look very good. Number four, Vegas hotels can't really stay in business right now anyways, and they might just close it because it might not be a popular place to stay. Number five, as I mentioned in my video a few days ago, there is also a kids-themed hotel in the Excalibur that is way more kids-themed, looks just like Disney on purpose, don't you know? And then you also have a mid-range hotel with the Mandalay Bay and a high-end hotel with the Delano. And the MGM basically hits all those different factors from mid to high-end. So what are you going to do with the Luxor? Are you going to keep it open? You're going to keep it operating? It doesn't make a lot of sense to do all that, but you know, they seem to want to open up as much as they can out here to try to get some money coming in the coffers. But what I've heard is that they're not making any money at the casinos right now. And the employees, of course, are infighting, as we talked about in the first part of this video. Is there really going to be an Atari hotel? You know, that was something that they were talking about. It would be interesting to make an Atari hotel. I don't think it'll ever happen. Like most Atari products, it will be vaporware. Okay, so what I just said was very techie and nerdy. The Atari brand name has been sold a million times. You remember the Atari back in the days? Their old slogan was, "Have you played Atari today?" And yeah, they've had a lot of products and a lot of launches and a lot of failures. I don't think it'll happen. I think they're working out the nostalgia, the member berries, if you coin a South Park phrase, because I'm all full of so many pop culture references. Remember when? Remember when Atari was cool? I do. I had one because we were poor, and then we had a Nintendo because it's better than Atari because my uncle bought it for me. Wow, Steven really knows Vegas. The best info. Thank you so much. Would it be Mike and Molly? Yeah, that's exactly it. Mike and Molly, Devin. You figured it out. Some people already posted it. Read an interesting article this morning. Engineer Cat says that for the last 5 years, MGM is looking to dump Luxor and Excalibur. I've heard that. I covered that in another rumor. Oh, the Excalibur is not going to reopen. Well, you know, that was not the case. Rumors suck because everybody runs off rumors. Now, if I want to do videos about rumors, I can get a bazillion views, but what service will I be doing to you except for freaking you out that your nostalgia will go away or that the hotel you're going to stay in is not going to be there? As for the Atari resort, there's no money. Nobody has any money right now. It's crazy, right? And even if you do build a property, where are you going to get the concrete? Where are you going to get the building materials? It sucks. It sucks. M. Stone, better to speak facts than fiction. Mandatory IQ tests for the police. I know the military does IQ tests. I know if you're under a certain level, you can't be in the military. IQ is going to be a contentious thing going into the future with artificial intelligence. I mean, a lot of jobs that are driving and transportation that make people money right now could go away. And a lot of those jobs go to lower IQ people. And I'm not saying that if you're a driver, you're probably a very smart person, but there are some jobs that you can do and that AI will take away. Army people, the Army I heard was an 85 or an 80 or something like that. I don't know. Oh, CJ's daddy said something. Are the casinos banning smoking because masks are required except for eating or drinking? No, I talked about this in a video. I said, this is a new era where you can try new things in Las Vegas. You can try anything you want to try because your audience isn't there. The normal people that would come here are not coming back right now. You have a very small subset of those folks. So you can try to have a non-smoking hotel right now, and then you can gauge the audience. So when it does come back in full, which it will come back in full, and I'm not trying to scare you. If you made it this far, you know that I'm a pragmatic, practical person. When it does come back in full, you can know if it's going to work for you or not. Think of it like this, okay? Speaking of old video games. Here, you guys want to hear about old video games? I need 350 likes to equate this to Las Vegas. I'm going to draw two lines, something that happened in like 1985 to what's happening right now. But I need to get to, you know what? No, I need 355 likes. So give me 355 likes, and I will tell you about how the Nintendo launched and changed the entire country and how Vegas might change the entire travel industry. but I need to get to 355 likes. It will make a lot of sense, trust me on this. When Luxor opened in 93, it was the tallest building on the Strip. I remember reading an article in Wired magazine back when I still got a subscription in Canada, and it was talking about the verticality of Las Vegas and how between 1993 and 2005, Vegas went from like 150-story building to like 25. Very, very quick. Doesn't happen in most places. Maybe it happens in Asia. Army Joe says no smoking at tables, but yes, you can smoke at the slots. Wow, I got 356 likes. Okay. So Vegas, and my wife told me about this, and she's completely right. She said this 12 years ago, a long time ago. She said Vegas is a beta test town. So when the original Nintendo launched, it was very, very popular in Japan. It was called the Famicom, F-A-M, like Michael I, short for family computer. But in Japan, they never saw a breakdown of the entire industry in video games, what we did here. So when they launched the Famicom in the United States, they couldn't launch it as the same way. So they had to change things. And that's what Vegas is doing now. It's changing things a little bit. They originally launched it. There was no original launch date. They put it into some toy stores in New York City. And they said, will this work for American audiences? And yes, it did. Yes, it did work. But they had already tried to shop the idea at toy shows. The Consumer Electronics Show, they used to have Comdex. It used to happen in Chicago and Las Vegas. They did 2 a year. It didn't work. So they beta tested it. None of the buyers were wanting it. They said, we don't want this. Just like how a lot of people say, we don't want a non-smoking hotel in Las Vegas. So they beta launched it in small amounts in New York City, a city with all sorts of demographics, from low income to high income, from the Wall Street investment banker that back then would have made $1 million. Now they make $5 billion or something crazy like that, to the people who basically worked in the stores in the neighborhood. It worked. So they did it in small amounts, and when it worked in small amounts, they expanded it everywhere. They launched it everywhere. For the record, Nintendo did it by making it look like a VCR and making it look less like a video game and more like a toy. They wrapped it up and put a little robot in there and a plastic gun and said, this isn't a video game, this is an entertainment system, and people bought the concept. Now, I think that's what they're doing in Las Vegas right now. I think that they're looking at the casinos that have a younger demographic and beta testing the non-smoking idea, and then you will segment the market into those casinos. So if the Park MGM, the rumor was it was going to be non-smoking because the National Hockey League would be putting all the players there. That's not happening now, but they've already gone with the idea. Or the Planet Hollywood, they have a younger audience. If they're catering to the younger audience, we all know younger people smoke less and less, and that's fine, then that's what they're doing. They're beta testing things. And if it doesn't work out, who cares, right? It's not like you have everybody here to begin with. Park is not losing any money to anybody else. There's nobody here, if that makes sense to you guys. And if you think I'm full of crap, just give me a thumbs up anyways, because now I'm begging for likes. I saw a YouTuber today talking about things in Vegas. Barry Noyce. I love that name, man. You're like the Noyce. I knew this guy who said that all the time. Kells wants to know why the Strip doesn't have a moving sidewalk like the airport. Well, I think it comes down to cost versus everything else. Concrete lasts for 30 years. A moving sidewalk breaks down. Look at how often the escalators break down on the Strip. And an escalator and a moving sidewalk are no different. The escalator just has a gear in it that raises and lowers it. But the moving sidewalks would have a ton of problems with rain and with wind and with heat and with dust. And we have a lot of dust in this town. I think that's the reason why we don't have moving sidewalks in Las Vegas. But you could always rent a scooter for like $40 a day and they'll deliver it to your room. So I think that's what that is. And I lost my train of thought from earlier, but that's okay. Barry, thank you so much. Oh my God, Steven looks noticeably different today. Yeah, I am wearing contacts and I shaved and I'm trying to look better on the camera to make a better experience. I heard a Vegas blogger today and they were just like saying, please subscribe to the channel. I tell you guys to subscribe because I want you guys to be informed, and I'm not a sycophant. And if you don't know the term, it was a sycophant with somebody like, if you're a Hollywood star, or you're a CEO of a corporation, they will tell you that you're the best. You're awesome. Yes, you're the best. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to give you guys the non-sugar-coated truth. I love this town. I think this is a great city. But I think that we have to get our crap together if we're going to save it from oblivion. and I just don't like it. And somebody on my Facebook group that's a dear friend of mine, who is this very sweet woman, she said she can't even watch the live streams because they're negative, and I feel bad doing this kind of thing. I feel like I'm doing you a disservice to tell you what's going on. And if you're just catching up and you're just coming in, we had insider information today that basically said that the casino employees are scared to death to go to work, whether or not it's the culinary union hiring lawyers to sue the casinos, or whether or not the casinos are completely accountable. These people are fighting for their time off. People with no seniority have to work through it. People that have some banked vacation, they're going to take 2 weeks. They don't want to even be at the job, but they don't want to quit their job because they're afraid of losing their position in the company. I get Steven recommendations and hoarders recommendations from YouTube. Okay, I'm kind of a hoarder in a lot of ways. Trust me, this desk is incredibly dirty in front of me. Yeah, they can barely keep the escalators working. That's true. Please give us the info. I'll give you guys the info. I'm going to tell you, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for future notifications, support the channel on Patreon, do the face mask thing. I lost so many Patreons today because they billed everybody. And I'm like, is it me they don't like? And I realized that, no. A lot of people's unemployment runs out. A lot of people are having a hard time paying the bills right now. And I understand, man. I totally do. You're coming here, you're putting your safety into the hands of companies, and now we have division. And that's the problem. You can't have division between people. How come I look so much younger today? It's contact lenses and a shaved face, and I did my hair, and my wife dressed me properly. Hallelujah for the wives of the world. All lawsuit related. It might be lawsuit related. Got my rear end handed to me at the Silver Sevens, Paradise and Flamingo. I know that resort. First night shooting craps. I never get beat the first night. Ooh, Mitchell. I'm sorry about that. Maybe they weighted the dice in their favor. I'm just kidding. They don't do that. 900 are watching. I hope I can put on an entertaining show and tell you guys this city has so much hope in it, so much hope for a full recovery. We just have to wear our masks and socially distance. And if we're here, we don't have to go to the strip. If we're here, we're bloggers. We could just be entertaining with our voices and give people something to think about. Hopefully they come back to us. Am I doing you a service by showing you Tiesto at the Bellagio for the 9th time? No, maybe. But am I doing a service to everybody else here? Probably not. Probably not. Casino. But I will be at the Cosmopolitan tomorrow at 6 p.m. because, and I know somebody in my channel is very upset, I have a VIP in town and I'm going to the Bellagio to film a room. So I will be doing a very socially distanced, very face masked meeting if you guys want to come meet me at 6 p.m. at the Cosmo. I will be at the Cosmo. I will be at the Starbucks outside of the resort. There's a Starbucks on the ground level. At 6 p.m., I will be there. Hopefully you'll be there too. I will be by myself because who here will actually show up and meet me? Probably most of you aren't in Vegas right now. That's why you're watching this. Otherwise, you'd be enjoying yourselves. This is entertaining. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Oh, my gulai. Oh, it's a term I use. It means, oh, my vegetable. I don't know why I say it. My wife says it to me. It's a Filipino term. Something happened with Patreon billing. I received notice payment was declined, which doesn't make sense. Really, Sasha? That is really weird, Sasha. I don't even know because I dropped from 231 to 217. It might even be less right now. I don't even know. I'm going to just go check it right now and see what I dropped off to. And it sucks because I feel like I did something wrong to all y'all. All of y'all. I know I'm not from the South, but I say it. I'm not pandering. It's just something I've always said. Yeah, I went to 217, and I thought maybe I was just doing a cruddy job for you. Whoa, Fireman 6023 is here. Thank you so much, Fireman. And my old-time subscriber since the very first one I ever did, Kiwi. He says Kiwi NZ, but it looks like he's in Australia using the Aussie bucks. Fort Lauderdale, Florida is here. Let's pray for Florida. They've had it harder than us. If you had a cold, you can test positive. Maybe, Millicent. From what I know, you have antibodies to particular things. A family member of mine had antibodies to hepatitis C from birth. He's just one of those people. And it was like a scary thing because we thought he had a terminal illness. But no, he just had antibodies. Oh my gosh, Ian Ingram is here from the UK. He gave me 9.99 pence pound sterling. Sound is a pound. You know why that's out there, right? Because they used to measure the pound against metals, and now they don't. But sound is a pound. Thank you so much, Ian. Patreon asked to re-enter info, so I will. Thank you, Sasha. I appreciate it. Oh, my gosh. Ronald Riviera says to do the Arnold. Look out. Look out. I walk around the neighborhood. Go to Las Vegas. Go to Bellagio. Beautiful light show. I don't know. I'm trying my best. Sometimes when I go over the top, it doesn't work. Mandatory IQ test for the police nexus is set at 17 times already. We need to find, they do psych tests for police officers, right? Psychological tests. I had psychological tests when I went to go be a salesman for Wyndham. I didn't go and work for Wyndham, but they gave me a psych test. 4 of them. 4! And somehow this crazy person in front of you passed the psych test. Steve, get to the chopper and find a vaccine. Look out, great. Get to the chopper. We got to get a vaccine for these people. They're good people. If graduations can no longer happen in a gym or a football field, maybe we can have a 2020 grads walk through Walmart or Home Depot or Target. Well, the garden center at Home Depot is really nice. They have some good plants there. My wife buys succulents from there all the time. Love all those Vegas face masks. Getting lots of compliments on the ones we received from you. Thank you. Oh my God, I feel guilty for so many reasons. I got 2 free nights at Wynn and $25 free play. You think they could do better? Well, it's not old-timey Las Vegas, is it? Have any word on the next casino's opening? I don't. They used to announce that stuff. Today it was the Aria, and I believe the Mandalay Bay opened fully, completely today. Fully, completely. Hey, Canadians, what did I just quote? If you're a Canadian and you know the name of the band, I just completely quoted off the top of my brain. Fully, completely. Name it, Canadians. I know you're in the chats. I know I need to hear from you guys. Oh my God, Engineer Cat doesn't like emoji spam. Sorry, Engineer Cat. Please don't leave the chat, but that's what it is. See you at the party, Richter. Is there protesters still? I haven't seen. Oh, Wall Street Warlord smacked them down. We have a lot of emoji spam. I'm not going to tell people not to do it. It just keeps it lively, but hopefully Engineer Cat doesn't leave forever. Oh my God, so Joanne is the first to say the Tragically Hip. Yep, one of the best bands of all time. Rest in peace, Gordon Downey. There's my Canadianisms for you today. Larry Watson is here. Thank you guys so much, Larry Watson. Oh my gosh, Stephen, what hardware are you using to make the backdrop and the text in the right corner? I'm using a software. It's all software. I'm using a Panasonic Lumix camera. The one I wanted to buy the lens for today, but I cannot afford the lens. It is very expensive, $1,100. For God's sakes, it's more than the camera body. So I'm using a Panasonic G9. I have it in a ring light. I have another light next to me. I have a green screen that I bought on Amazon behind me. I'm using OBS Studio, Oscar Bravo Studio. And I watched a YouTube tutorial, and then I have a widget that's a website that I went online and got. And the overlays on the text are just text. And I use a different font in the corner that says, this is all expressed opinion. I have every right to say it. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. And that's what I'm using. Plus, I have a mic. It's a mic. And it's a good mic, but I need to up my audio game. CJ's daddy, wearing a mask is the new culture. People will need to get used to, just like how people had to get used to not being able to smoke in restaurants until we have a vaccine or herd immunity. Now, Dr. Fauci was like, there's no vaccine. There's no vaccine. We're all done for. 100,000 people a day. I'm like, okay, well, thank you, Dr. Fauci. How could some voice like that come out of a person that tall? Pretty awesome. It's like Mila Kunis, if you know who that is. Like, how could your voice look like that? She's like this Ukrainian fashion model that became an actress, and Mila Kunis is meg off Family Guy, so now you know. Brian Adams, do I miss Don Cherry? Of course, I liked Don Cherry, and you know what? Doesn't make me a bad person. Don Cherry is a very opinionated older guy. CJ's, yes, thank you guys. Can you point out the high roller on your green screen? The high roller is actually probably not in this shot. This is a really old shot. Additionally, I couldn't even if I wanted to, because here's why. The high roller would be actually not even in this shot. This shot is actually looking south, and the high roller would be behind my head. No, it'd be ahead of my head, that a ways. So yeah, I would be actually sitting before the high roller, even if it wasn't this shot. Dr. Dudson, whoa. Whoa, and Crystal Francis, hi Stephen, thank you for the info, and thank you somebody. So Susan says Dr. Fauci is not somebody she wants to listen to, which is fine, and the mods approved it, and I appreciate you mods. See, we can express our opinions here as long as we don't say it's fake, because it's definitely not fake, and as long as we don't say go lick the doorknobs of your neighbor's houses, that's fine. Fauci impression on Fleek, I don't know what Fleek is. Crystal Francis, thank you so much, guys. You're great. How long have you lived in Vegas? Christian Marquez says, I've been here since 2004. So I've been here for a while. Yes, behind the flamingo and the link, yes. Will the hypnosis show be open? No shows are open right now. We're not allowed to have live ticketed entertainment shows in Las Vegas whatsoever. But hey, ironically, if a hypnosis show wanted to go on for free, you could apparently have it. Isn't that stupid? You could have free shows at the Harrah's and the Carnival Court and Flair bartenders putting on a show because you don't sell tickets. But in the meantime, you can't have ticketed shows. Interesting. Mods are gods. I love me mods. I love me mods. I don't know why I'm talking like a bad English accent or something like that. Remember those fools licking ice creams at the supermarket? Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande, she licked a donut. She's on a security camera and she thought she was being funny a few years ago. She takes the donut. This is a girl worth several lifetimes every year of what you will earn in it, okay? She'll make more money in 6 months than you're going to make in the next 10 years. She's with her little boyfriend. She picks up a donut. Bleh, look at me, I'm so cool. She puts it back so somebody else is going to eat it. She was on the TMZ. I'm not making any of that up. Yeah. Anyways, that was a fool. I don't know what that is. Will the hypnosis show on the Miracle Mile be open in July? Scott says, no. No, it will not be open in July. I can tell you unequivocally no. What's not happening in July. Here's what's not going to happen in July. Paid shows where you got to pay to be in an audience, not going to happen. Nightclubs, not going to happen. Day clubs, not going to happen. Sports, not going to happen where you buy a ticket. You can have MMA, but you just can't have people in the audiences. That won't happen either. What else will not happen under the restrictions? Because what they essentially did was they rolled out the restrictions for phase 2 and extended them till July 31st. But they could always get worse. Like, we could go back to phase 1 or phase 0, and I hope that doesn't happen. Will Cirque be back after going bankrupt, Norm says. Yeah, Cirque will come back eventually. They're going to only focus on Las Vegas for right now, which means that there was a show called The Magician in New York on Broadway. It's not going to happen. The touring show's not going to happen. Basically, they're at the mercy of their bankruptcy court, and the bankruptcy court is working with the people who bought the debts, which part of it is the province of Quebec, les Québécois. They gave them a bunch of money, and some other people gave them money, and now the responsibility of Cirque is to listen to what other people say. So when Cirque says we're focusing on Vegas, it's not because they necessarily want to, it's because other people are controlling their destiny right now. Kai says, cool background photo. Thank you, Kai. I appreciate it. Look at that. It's 90 degrees. When I started off this live stream, it was 93. We have a low of 72 tonight and a high of 82. Well, that can't be right. There's no way. Actually, it might be right. Sometimes when it's windy like it was today and we had red flag warnings, which if you're not from this part of the world means that fires can start. And so you got to be careful with, fire flammable stuff. It could get cooler tomorrow. I really doubt it because it's supposed to be like 100 every day this week. Masks are a symbol of this communists for shutting your mouth. No, Nexus, masks are not a symbol for the communists shutting your mouth. Mods, don't remove them. You don't have to do that. That's totally fine. No. Let's be practical and pragmatic, okay? Nobody who wears a mask thinks that at 1 micron, this mask is going to remove the C19 virus from your breath. But what I do know is that when I sneeze, and I'm supposed to do the vampire, for some reason I remember SARS, and they said do the vampire sneeze, like blah, like you have a cape. Blah, that's okay. When you sneeze, well, it goes everywhere. The mask will stop the large things from coming everywhere and shooting out everywhere. And that's what that is. So no, it's not a symbol for any political ideology. I take exception to that as well because my family moved away from communism to come to Canada, and it's Canada Day today, and I just don't like it when people say that stuff because communism has killed more people in the world than anything else. And nobody in their right mind right now thinks communism is a good idea. Anyways, when is a good time to go to Las Vegas? Shammy, I would probably wait a few weeks to a month and see if the curve starts to go down on new cases. But that's up to you. You can do whatever you like. Ka is a good show. I like Ka. That's not going anywhere. Ka will be around at Cirque du Soleil because of the $250 million stage they developed. They can't put any other show there. Smash the like to get 7 years of good luck in Las Vegas. Gucci has a plan, man. I don't know if that's the way that works, but that is cool. We wear masks to protect others from our germs, not the other way around, Army Joe says. Good point. Good point. Good Count Chocula impression, Eric says. That's very cool. Thank you. The mask stops my stanky breath. Yeah, but I don't know about that because this one time I was in a Best Buy and this guy was wearing a mask and it didn't work out too well for either of us. I could smell him. I don't think he knew. Oh my gosh, we got to come down here and do this again. Oh! All right, I got my boom box. Stop clawing my shirt. I like this shirt. All right, stop it, dude. You clawing my shirt. I loved Caw. Scary Acrobatics. Yeah, Caw is a good show. It's a great show. I actually cracked the bullwhip from Caw. I went to a Filipino martial arts studio. Oh, you don't want to be up here? Come on. Hands-free mode with the cat. All right, he's gone. Masks are a grooming tool. Wake up, people! Yeah, okay, whatever. When I see people not wearing masks around me, it means they don't give an ish about you. I'm starting to feel that way, and I hate to feel that way because I like to say that probably 90% of all people are really good, and probably like 7 to 8% people are decent, and like a very small fraction of people just don't care, but I don't know about that, man. I'm starting to feel like Vegas is becoming that responsible friend that makes hanging out to be a pain in the butt. It's a really interesting way of looking at it. I like that. Oh my gosh, FSU, Florida State University, is that what you're talking about, Frank? I'm not sure. Happy Canadian Day. Canadian Day. Very nice. New research proves that masks protect you from it as well. Well, that's good, Norm. I'd like to see some quotes. I'd like to see some research. But, so post up the link. I would love to see it. What comes to worst, I will abstain in November. I think November is going to be a very different scenario. Look how much it changed in 3 weeks. My gosh, we don't know where it's going to be in 3 weeks. Maybe in 3 weeks all this passes and I can go back to the strip and live stream with y'all. If you could travel to somewhere now, where would it be? I would go camping in Utah. Camping in Utah. That would be very fun. Utah has some beautiful camping. Oh, no, I lied. I'd go camping in Montana. Montana is a beautiful state. They call it Big Sky Country because when you're driving down the 15, you look to your left, there's like mountains like that. Look like they're 1,000 miles away, but they're so big, the Rocky Mountains in Montana. And it's such a beautiful place. I love Montana. It's so nice, and the people are nice, and I have some good memories as a kid down there. It's very nice. What are you doing for the 4th of July, Steven? Nothing. I think I'm supposed to go and deliver some face masks to somebody. I have to take the 3rd of July off work, which drives me crazy. The 4th of July, there's a realtor I'm supposed to give a call back to at 3:30 p.m. Dr. Dudson says Marquee Club is open. They found a loophole. And that's what I'm talking about with these freaking new loopholes. Yeah, I mean, and we're going to get to what Matt just said. Matt, guess what I got in the mail, Matt? I got this, and I don't even know how to set this son of a gun up. This is my gimbal that I bought from Matt, but Matt has been donating stuff to me for a long time. I don't know how to set that gimbal up. I feel like an idiot. Yeah, these loopholes with entertainment and stuff, it can't be healthy or safe. Do I still feel like a knucklehead? I actually identify more with the United States than Canada, but Canadians, don't get offended. It's okay. I mean, there's so many things about Canada that are in me, like hockey and the Tragically Hip. And Canada has a very interesting history compared to the United States. Completely different way that they went about things. So I still appreciate the history, but I've been down here for so long, and I've always kind of, I don't know. I'll always be a Canadian at heart, but I do love the United States of America very, very much. It's a very endearing thing to me. Fauci reminds me of Dr. Eldon Tyrell from Blade Runner. That's a good call. I like that. It's a shame the Golden Knights won't be staying, but going to Edmonton. Oh, no, they're not going probably to Edmonton. As far as I understand it now, you can tell me in the comments, dude, I don't know where you got your info. See, what they were going to do is I read a report that said that if Vegas was a city, it was out of Long Island. It was an Islanders blog. They said that the Islanders and the Rangers would play in Vegas. And then I figured it out. The West Coast team's likely going to play on the East. The East Coast team's going to play on the West. And the reason being, they don't want the Toronto Maple Leafs to have some kind of an advantage. And they don't want the Edmonton Oilers to have an advantage, or the Vegas Golden Knights. If they play all the West Coast teams in Vegas, Vegas Golden Knights are in, they have an advantage. So they're going to swap them out. From what I heard, now I could be wrong. My boss refused to wear a mask, and now he's in the hospital fighting for his... Ooh, Irvine Lover's been here. By the way, thank Irvine Lover for being a long-time subscriber on this channel. They've been in my chats since maybe the very start last June when I started doing the live streams. And thank you, Irvine Lover. And that is unfortunate, and I hate to hear that. We have some friends that are big into the events, and they were in the hospital fighting for their lives too. They're safe. Everybody got out okay. But, that's why when people say this is fake, that it really, really bothers me. And that's why when people say that the hotels shouldn't have, these employees shouldn't care, that really, really bothers me. Why can't no Canadian-style hotels or slot machines? Todd, all right, you guys want to hear a funny story? Canadians might get offended by this. Say yes or no. You tell me, do you guys want to hear a funny story about what I had? What this is back when I was not a nice guy. Like, I try really hard to be a good guy, to be very Christian to people, and think about what I say before I say it. Now, especially now with the YouTube channel, if you guys want to hear a very funny thing to say why they're Canadian-style slots or hotels, why are there none of those things, I will tell you guys. Okay, everybody's saying yes in the chats. That's good. Why is my name not blue with a wrench, Eric Castillo? I have moderators, and I try to have them, and I could make you a moderator. Let's try it for a little while. Last time I made somebody a moderator, and they weren't on my Patreon and stuff like that, what ended up happening was he started to ban everybody. So Eric can now ban people. So if Eric's not good, I can catch it, and I can get rid of him unless I'm on a mobile device. All right, so it's not a funny story. It's a mean story about Canadians. I worked in timeshare for 12 years, and I would meet people. And so let me ask you a question before I continue on with the story. Do you guys think I sound completely Canadian when I talk to you? That's a question I want to ask you. Do I sound stereotypically Canadian? Now, Canadians are going to be mad. They're going to say, we don't sound like anything. Okay, well, yeah, you kind of do, and I pick it out. And so I don't think I sound like it as much. So I'll meet Canadians when I'm working in timeshare, and they don't know where I'm from, and some of them get high and mighty. Not all of you. Like, okay, there's some folks, and you know that there is, so don't get mad at me, because you're probably not one of them, but you probably met one. Be really, really, really honest with yourself. So some Canadians will say things like, I don't even like the United States, right? We just come here because I have my timeshare here, and I have to come here. Okay, fine. And I would be like, oh, I love Canada. And this one time, this guy went on a rant with me. Now, I started off the conversation being a wise ass. This was a long time ago. I was younger. Okay, everybody gets to be a wise ass when they're younger. Some of you guys aren't, and God bless you for being good people. I wasn't that nice. And I was making a joke. I'm like, oh, yeah, I love Canadian football. He's like, oh, really? What team do you like? I'm like, oh, I love the BC Eskimos and the Calgary Argonauts. I did it on purpose. I know all the teams. For God, I watched the CFL for years. And he's like, oh, you Yanks, you don't know what you're talking about with the United States. And I was like, well, I was just kidding. I actually am from Calgary. I watch those teams all the time. Go Stamps, go Lions, BC Lions, Edmonton Eskimos, Toronto Argonauts. And he goes, well, see, you prove a point, right? He says, you prove the point that a lot of Americans, they don't know anything about Canada, right? And I said, well, let me ask you a question. He goes, what's that? And I said, okay. I said, what's the biggest problem you have? He goes, well, right, I'm from Mississauga, and they don't know where that is. And I said, okay, I will agree with you, but let me ask you this. What state is the city of Brainerd in? Okay, question for everybody in the chat, because probably you don't know. What state is the city of Brainerd in? Okay, I'm going to wait. Okay, what state is the city of Brainerd in? And if you're in the United States, you probably don't even know. And that's okay, right? And the point is, the city of Brainerd is in Minnesota, and they filmed Fargo in Brainerd, Minnesota, and he didn't know that. And so I said, see, you don't know. And he goes, right. And I said, so if you don't know what state Brainerd is in, why should any Americans know where Mississauga is? He goes, oh. And I said, right, because we have so much crap flying at us all the time. We can't be expected to know every little thing about our neighbors. And so that's why there is no Canadian slots. That's why there's no Canadian-themed hotels, because Americans don't know enough, because most people in America are just like you in Canada, and you go about your daily business, and you go to the CIBC or the TD or the Bank of Montreal, and you pay your bills, and then you go to the Tim Hortons, and you get a double-double, and you roll up the room to win, and that's cool, and you know about Burger King and McDonald's, and you know about Domino's and Taco Bell, but you don't know everything about the United States, and so Americans don't know everything about Canada. And that's probably the way it is, so our brains don't explode with so much information. Does that make sense? Tell me that makes sense. I just took you guys on a meandering, stupid tale all around my brain, and there it is, right? Canadians often have their heads up their ends, especially as it pertains to America. Ooh, Johnny, I hope you're a Canadian saying that, or else everyone will be mad at you. The Bob and Doug Casino Resort. That would be fun, right? Good day, eh? Good day, eh? You can have like a hockey rink and stuff like that. So that's my point, right? Canada has good meat sandwiches. I don't know what meat sandwiches you're talking about, but sure, man. Yeah, there's not much different. There's a really good YouTube channel called JJ McCullough, and he actually writes for the Washington Post. He writes the Canadian foreign stuff for them, and he's got a great YouTube channel, and he talks about the cultural differences, and there's really not that many. It's really not that many. Stephen, have you seen the movie Canadian Bacon? Yeah, it is really funny, actually. Punky, Mr. Classic TV, where have you been all my life? You haven't been in these chats for a while, but then again, I took four days off last week. Have ever seen Canadian Bacon, where Canada goes to US to go to war? Yeah, John Candy was in it, obviously. Stephen Wright was in it. It's about, damn it, we have ways of making you pronounce the letter U. It's pretty funny stuff. That was a funny movie. That was actually one of the only things that Michael Moore ever did that I thought was funny. Michael Moore had something to do with that movie. It was pretty funny. Upstairs at the D bar, Canada. Oh, he retracted the message. I knew what you meant, Ronald. It's all good, my man. Lots of Canadians go to Las Vegas, and they don't go there to see what they have. Oh, wait. Okay, so my eyes are getting really dry with the contacts. Lots of Canadians go to LV, and they don't go there to see what they have. Same could go to Asians, which is why Asian Theme Resort have failed. That's a really good point, yeah. So if you're coming to the United States, why would you go to find more of what you're looking for? I guess, right? You know, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. That's what you two said. So if you're going to go to the United States, when I was a kid, we would go what we called going over the river. I lived in Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, Canada is here. Niagara Falls, New York is right here. Obviously, the Niagara River and the falls are in between the two. Whoa! Here's for 4 days off, Mr. Classic TV says. You guys should watch the channel, Mr. Classic TV 1980. He's got a slot channel, so if you're missing the slots and you can't get to Vegas, you might want to watch the channel. It's a good channel over there. I've checked it out on my own. He does some slot coverage. So Mr. Classic TV 1980, go to your YouTubes, type it in, subscribe to the channel. You guys might like that kind of stuff. So we would go over the river. And when we go over the river, we go over the Rainbow Bridge, and that's the one that connects the two. And back in the 80s, it was a little bit different. Like, we didn't have movies came up generally the same time, but video games would come out. They didn't have really release dates, so they come out in the States first. And you had different restaurants you couldn't go to in Canada. And now Canada's getting everything because of globalization and all that kind of stuff. But it was a big deal to go over there. I remember one time in a Wendy's restaurant in the United States, my father put his keys on the tray and then threw his keys into the garbage, and here we are in New York State, and he's all flipping out, and I was like, it sucked. Somebody helped us out. It was really nice. Yeah, but we would always go over there, and all I wanted to do was eat Canadian McDonald's or American McDonald's. That's all I cared about. My old man, he's like, okay, son, you got to pay attention. This is where the War of 1812 was fought, and we have Lundy's Lane in Niagara Falls, Canada. That was important, but this is the important part, and I'm like, Dad, I don't care. I just want to eat American McDonald's. That's what it was. I guess I was wrong about Mass. There are other states with that town as well. I'm not sure. Verna's having a conversation. I did not pay attention to everybody. Oh, Montreal, yeah. So, yeah. Montreal has its own culture altogether. It's very, very different in Montreal. They have a big Jewish community in Montreal. They have a lot of people from slavery days when the Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman, freedmen would oftentimes go to Canada instead of staying in the United States. Paul Rotter says, here's to 8 days off. Beauty, eh? And Allison Hopkins, I got another person from the UK. Hey, can I ask you a question? Are you not in Canada or the United States? Are you watching this? If you're not in either country, tell me where you're from right now in the chats. Not Callahan, Cal OSHA, stupid Android key. Okay, I don't know. I'm reading chats that are not even addressed for me. They're being utilized in conjunction. Okay, so anyways. Most Americans don't live more than 50 miles from where they grew up. Yes, but most Canadians live within 50 miles of the border to the United, well, a couple hundred miles to the border of the United States because of weather reasons. Chris Cuomo is CNN and Andrew Cuomo is the New York governor. Whoa, Lauren, that is, we're hearkening back to something we talked about a long time ago. Keep up the faith. Love the Hockey Hall of Fame. Toronto is cool. I would love to see the Hockey Hall of Fame someday. I mean, hopefully Vegas wins the Stanley Cup someday. Canadian McChicken is an all-time great. Yeah, the spicy McChicken here is different, that's for sure. If you're watching from somewhere else, it's not America, why don't you tell me where you're watching from? If you're not in Canada, tell me where you're watching from. That would be good. Hey, Steven, somebody recommended a steakhouse at the D called Andiamo. Have I tried it? No, I have not. It might be really good. You might want to look up Open Table and see what the reviews are like. So I love the dollar menu in the U.S. It's the $1.89 menu in Canada. It doesn't taste as good and not as good selection, Red Pill Gary says. I don't know how your coupon situation is at McDonald's in Canada, but we have some really good coupons on the mobile app as well. Murdoch Mysteries is my favorite, Steve D says. I've never heard of that one. Hi, I made it to Vegas today. Staying at the Bellagio. It's definitely not the Vegas I remembered last year, but we're all wearing masks. Very cool. Very cool. So, I got Ian here. Thanks for the entertainment. It's 6 a.m. and 52 degrees and raining. Ooh, that's so cold. I should be in Vegas next week. First time in 15 years. I won't be there, but we can't enter the USA from the UK till at least December. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry about that, Ian. I'm so sorry, man. But you know what? Yeah, turnabout is fair play. Now Americans can't go anywhere in Europe. Everybody's like fighting internationally with travel restrictions. It's crazy, man. I have a big project coming up. Somebody from overseas just sent me an image. They're doing something with some video I shot. So I'll be interested to see if I can show you guys that. That'd be pretty cool when I can actually announce it. They should bring back pizza to McDonald's in Canada. I remember McDonald's pizza. It was a big deal. They flew blimps over southern Ontario. They advertised it on Fox on The Simpsons. That was in the 80s and the 90s. Learned so much about Vegas. I'm glad, Paul. That's good. First trip to Mont Tremblant via Montreal. Got lost, then needed a break. I asked the clerk where the restroom was. Blank stare. Okay, bathroom. Now I'm in a strange delivery guy pops up. Toilette. Yeah, it's like every culture has their ways of saying it. You could have said, if you're in some parts of California, you say baños. They say, of course, water closet. The WC in the Philippines. I'm like, no. Yeah, it's cold, man. 52 degrees. I'm sure it'll be a nice 65 or 70 in London, though, today. Oof to Paul. I heard the new season won't happen until 2021. Okay. Can't go to LV and casinos are closed in BC. So doing a road trip to Alberta soon. You can go to the Stampede Casino. There's other casinos. I don't know. Do they still have the Silver Dollar Saloon in Calgary? I remember that place. That was Frank Sisson's Silver Dollar Saloon. That was not a nice casino. Maybe it's nicer now. Steve Miller's in the chat. Man, Steve Miller, nice to see you again. Who invented basketball? A Canadian. Yeah, James Naismith was a physical education teacher. He moved to Boston or to Massachusetts, and he invented the game of basketball. Every Canadian kid knows this because they have these things called heritage minutes in Canada when I was younger, and they show you recreations of Canadian history. Not always accurate, but it was always interesting. Okay, the LU. Okay, Littlest Hobo. Oh my God, I remember that, man. That dog was just so sad, and then they had the whistling and the credits, and oh my God, Beachcombers, Littlest Hobo, Anne of Green Gables. Oh, man, I remember that. Man, I'm getting all waxing philosophical. Wow, the Slot Freaks frequents other channels more than us, but they are here today. They have a slot channel. They're based out of Seattle. You guys might want to go check them out. And they used to come in all the time, but they're busy with slot freaking everywhere. Very nice to see you. Any word on the Venetian Chit Chat on Twitter? I don't do Twitter as much. I have a Twitter account. Nobody follows me, and I don't post things there. I don't know what the Venetian Twitter is. You could tell me, but that'd be interesting. Steven took a trip to New York, and had a sandwich at Greenberg's Deli. Incredible. I'll have to try it someday. They call it the CR in the Philippines. Comfort room. WCCR. You're right. It's CR. My God, I should know that because I've been to the CR. You go off the plane in Naya in Manila, and you go to the CR, and then they try to charge you tips for little things. And I always pay tips because, those folks, man, they're just trying to support their families out there. Flying like an eagle. We got some Steve Miller references. Some call me the gangster of love. Man, you guys are the 80s and the 70s all rolled into one. I don't need none of that. The best was the fitness breaks from the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, I remember those too, man. Cowboys Casino is a good place. It's open in Calgary. Cowboys, the most fun you can have with your boots on. I didn't know that was a sexual innuendo until I got older. Are there restrictions for buffets and all-you-can-eat restaurants on the Strip differ from located off the Strip? Nope, they're the same. My wife goes to the Filipino buffet, and she has to have somebody serve her now. And that's what it is. So it's, somebody has to serve you. It's all the same throughout the entire state. Some call me Maurice as I speak on the properties of love. I know. Anyways, I got a dwindling chat. We're going way off topic. I'm going to say goodnight for you guys. You guys are great. John Candy was great. There's a reference to John Candy in a Tragically Hip song. It's So Hard Done By. And I think it's a John Candy reference. It says, sorry, Candy's not feeling well. And it's supposed to be a girl who takes her clothes off on stage, but I think it's a reference to John Candy. So now you can go and listen to that song by the Tragically Hip called So Hard Done By. It's a great song. I can't play any copyrighted music here. You guys are great. Okay, we have to get out of here because, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. Ugh, I screwed this night up. I was supposed to do other stuff tonight. You guys are great. We will talk to you guys in another video tomorrow. Thank you for all of my superstar rock stars. We had a lot of analytics. My God, at the height we had, how many chats did we have? At my height, holy cow, we had 60 chats a minute. That means there was a chat every second coming through. We have these people to thank for being level 3 local Las Vegans. Oh, look at that. I have to refresh the page because I lost my stats. So we're going to thank everybody who's a local Las Vegan level 1. That's our watchers and our commenters. Level 2 are our blue wrenches. They are also, whoa, Lorna. Jeez, Lorna, what is going on? Oh, Zorn. Super slick backdrop. I feel so bad that I am leaving the chat right now. Zorn, oh my God. And Lorna, thank you so much. You guys are great. So we have to say thank you to these awesome people that are the people that can pitch in. Everybody pitches in by chatting. Robert Jimenez, Charlie Dyson, John Neese, Margot Knight, Music with Mrs. LC, Paul Rotter, Paper City Gamer Jeff, Joseph Drake, GT Boxer 1, Army Joe 98, Julian Castillo, Bruce Pobans, Carmen Petrin. I can't see really good out of the side because these contacts are just samples. Army Joe 98. Jeremy J. Franco, Charlie Dyson, Paul Rotter, Shujak Shechen, Jeremy D, CJ's Daddy, Army Joe 98, Barry Noyce, Fireman 6023, Kiwi NZ, Ian Ingram, Larry Watson, CJ's Daddy, Crystal Francis, Dr. Dudson, Kai, Dr. Dudson, Irvine Lover 1, Mr. Classic TV 1980, Mr. Classic TV 1980 again, Paul Rotter, Allison Hopkins, this is excessive. Ian Ingram, Scott Zorn. I say Scott Zorn because I knew a guy named Scott Zorn. I still do it to this date. And Lorna Genix. And oh my God. Okay, thank you. Oh my God. You guys are wonderful. You're fantastic. You should come to California. We'll make a YouTube channel, not leaving Disney. You like Disney with the rides and the Mickey Mouses and the Minnie Mouses and the Imagineers, and they have the choppers flying over the Magic Kingdom. That was terrible. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. God, what is America is watching saying? He's saying only white people. Why would you say that? Well, actually, that's the truth. They made a law. Arnold's here, but we got to go because I'm already ready to click off. I got to say 3, 2, 1 and click. All right, so wife's doing mask stuff. You can't see her because of green screen technology. Put your face over here.
I'm going to be like a ghost?
Yeah, you're a ghost. You can't see you. But look, there, you're halfway there in a minute. No way. Yeah, see, watch here. I'll show you like this. Okay, move it again. Move it again. Look, your head's all cut off. Your head's all cut off. You got to lower yourself down. There you go. All right. You guys are great. I got to go because my eyes are so dry right now. But God bless you guys for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. You guys are great. 3, 2, 1, click. See you in another video tomorrow, guys. 3, 2, 1, click. Thank you more than you know. This was the highlight of my day. I do. Okay. I got to end now. Bye.